I'm a stats nerd gambler, and it's not fair. Got the monkey in the back, yeah, I'm cashing out there. Numbers don't lie with the analyzer screen. We'll do it live. Don't mess with my flow. Stats in my pocket, watch the money just grow. Bet on the fight, yeah, I'm hammering that line. We'll do it live. Going out of my mind. Crunching numbers like a fiend, I'm the spreadsheet king. Fights on the screen, hear the cash board sing. Bet the KO in round two, yo, I'm calling it now. Aggregator flashing stats, prop star, take a bow. Data's my weapon, got the graphs on lock. DSP staring at the coda, getting hard as a rock. Streams going wild, yeah, the server might crash. Live with no script, just my bets and my cash. We'll do it live. Don't mess with my flow. Stats in my pocket, watch the money just grow. Bet on the fight, yeah, I'm riding that line. We'll do it live. Going out of my mind. Live, no filter, just the numbers and me. Bad betting on fights. Get that monkey showing out on the stream. We'll do it live.
What's up, everyone? We are back for something a little bit different now. We are going to be doing a breakdown and analysis of the face-offs. Last week, we actually cashed a massive bet on Reed from the face-offs with Lucas Almeida and the broken hand or whatever that was. And so when we were in the chat talking about it, we were like, well, maybe we should put out some videos early of the final face-offs and what we see, if there's any value there at all. So we're going to wait here for it to start. It's 3 minutes, but I'm going to run through some of the things I'm going to be going over, kind of just like how this is all going to go down each week. It's going to be a chill stream. It's definitely going to be a chill stream. So let's light one up and get to talking. So what I'm going to do is, as the ceremonial weigh-ins are taking place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down each fight. And so we have our fighter comparison tool, and we're just going to be watching to see, basically, we got height reach up here, right? So Melissa Croden versus Tanara Lisboa in the first fight. She should be about 2 inches taller. The reach you can't see, but you should be able to see that. For some reason, her age wasn't given before. She's 34 as well. And so both are pretty inexperienced. And I'm going to go over just some of the things that we'll look for. First thing we'll go is into live betting. So we'll take any live betting notes while the face-offs are happening. Then we'll just talk about that. We'll talk about how they look and if anything changes based on that. Tanara Lisboa, we're going to look for a live spot on her. We're going to see if she looks better in the beginning than she did in her fight where she was on a layoff. So there you go. And we're going to go through it for each fighter. Probably going to be fast-paced, so at the end, I will go over any bets that I have during the weigh-ins, or the face-offs, I should say. It says ceremonial weigh-ins. I never get why they say that. I would think they should just say fighter face-offs or whatever, but ceremonial weigh-in, I guess, works. We know what it means, and we know that sometimes we can find spots here. It looks like they're about to start in 50 seconds. So the first one of the night will be Tanara Lisboa. We're probably actually going to be moving pretty rapid fire, though. So we'll hit the next fighter and so on and so forth as they come up. I will note if I have a pre-fight bet on one of the fighters. So like in this case, I do have one. So we'll go through that, but that'll have to wait till the end. We'll put a pin in things. We'll make notes. And at the end, we may even come up with some more bets, or we'll at least talk about which direction we're going to move in. So there you go. That's going to be one of the main things. And then I will show my betting screen as we go over that at the end. And there you go. Let's get some music because this isn't going to be a very exciting stream. This is going to be more informative for the stats nerds people. There we go. All right, we got Forrest, Griffin, my uncle, me and Forrest. And there you go. So they'll take their time on these. Again, this is a new stream. We'll see how it flows. It may be real choppy. And we'll end up either scrapping it or changing it up as we tend to do. Yeah, the music's really just distracting me from what we are here to do. I will say right now, let's just go into the pre-fight bets because those aren't going anywhere while they take their time to get started here. So these are my pre-fight bets so far. It looks like Azamat's actually the first one that's going to come up. I have him by round 2 submission. Over 50% of his finishes have come by submission. Recently, it's a lot of KOs, but I do see this being a spot where against a kickboxer, you have a clear path to victory. Take him down. And a lot of times that can result in a submission, especially if he has him on his resume. Now, if he's just a ground and pound guy, after he gets the takedown, maybe you don't go submission, but he has quite a few submissions on his record. So plus 900 on the second round. I did it because that's the majority of where they come from. It does make sense. Maybe he wants to strike at the beginning, gets a takedown, lays it in the second. I think him by submission in round 1 or 2 is also live, but really I'm just taking a flyer here. 0.33 units to win 3 units. So it's a small play in the case that it happens. I'm going to look here. I'm definitely interested to see the size differences between Azamat and Belgari. But I like Azamat in parlays. I do like him in parlays. I'm probably going to look live with him as well because we'll see. This fight could go to a decision. Maybe not. We'll go over that some more as well. As a matter of fact, let's look at that. Let's look at that now while we're still waiting here. So his last 5 wins, Azamat, 3 KOs, 2 decisions. So I think this could easily go to decision. And I know there's no subs in there, but trust me, they're there from before. 5 wins from Belgari, KO, 4 of the wins, 1 decision. He has lost 3 decisions, however. And so I definitely think Azamat by decision is possible here too, but I don't. Looking at the levels here, 18-28 on my raw numbers, 15-12 for Belgari, and that seems about where these guys are at. Now maybe Belgari is just like Pereira is. I doubt it, and I think it's going to take him a lot longer to figure it out. Face much lower competition than Azamat. So I like Azamat inside the distance. I like him, to get a decision as well. I do think there's a higher chance he gets that finish here. And it is favored, minus 225 to end in a finish. I have him at 76%. So even at a minus 270, I think Azamat is the play here all day. Money has been coming in, though. He got up to 300. Now he's back down to a minus 270. So let's see what they look like here. Another bet I have, Kyle Prepolek, KO, TKO at any point. Plus 900 I thought was too good. I'm really just putting a bit of a fade on the chin of, what's his name again? I want to call him Davy Grant. It's definitely not Davy Grant. Davy Grant's got a chin. This is Drew Dober. Might as well put that one up. So Drew Dober, Kyle Prepolek. Kyle's got a longer reach. Obviously, Dober's better. Dober a few years ago would have been a no-brainer. But if we do look here, not much difference in the level because there's so many losses for Dober. Much higher level competition. But we have to look at the fact that in Dober's last 5 losses, he's been knocked out 3 times. Some brutal knockouts there, and Prepelec just gets knockouts or decisions. The last 5 wins for Dober were by knockout, so it's probably a knockout one way or the other, but getting the plus 900 on Prepelec when he's never been knocked out and Dober's been knocked out 3 times, too much value on that. We had to take it. Final one, Davy Grant, Charles Jourdain, sneaky. Okay, we're going to get back to that. Let's go to Tainara. So the first one's coming up here, guys. So we're going to have Tainara Lisboa stepping onto the scales first. I mean, they've all already weighed in. Everyone made weight. We're here to see how they look when they're actually facing each other, not what Tapology tells us. I do also like to see their body language, how, are they hanging their right arm on the side with a hand that's swollen up? Things like that we want to see. So here comes Cronin. We have them. We have Cronin Lisboa. We got that. Cronin looks ready. Maybe a little nervous. I think this is her UFC debut. Lisboa gets in her face. Cronin is taller, probably by those 2 inches. This is live bet all day. On both of these girls, I'd look both ways. I'm going to probably look Lisboa if she looks. I think there's an unknown there. So, okay, Azamat. This is the one I want to see. Belgari's coming up first. And then Azamat. And I think it's going blue-red corner. So blue corner is coming up first. Then the red corner. Belgari looks thin, but he's going to be tall. How much taller? Height and reach. The reach says 7 inches, 5 inches on the height. Let's take a look at this. I will say that Azamat is built like a tank right now. A tank. Belgari, obviously the much taller fighter. They're talking. They're in each other's face. Belgari's tall. I will say one thing. Azamat has to take him to the ground. He has to. We'll go over that one a little more because the height and the reach is going to be interesting. First one to the stage, Ravina Oliveira. I was looking to maybe put Luciano on a parlay. I am thinking of a parlay. I really only like a few of the favorites in parlays, not a lot of favorites. I think all the dogs pretty much are live. And she might be live too, Oliveira. I like what I see. Very nice, very nice. Looks very in shape. Luciano should be bigger, but it doesn't look like she's going to be that much bigger. I will say it gives it, if you look at the percent chance of winning, Luciano 66%, 34 for Oliveira. Tough though with women's MMA. Laying all that chalk, we are going to be looking live. She'll have to be a live bet only. Bet the LB system. That's our live betting system. Oliveira, they're right in each other's face. I think this could be a war. This one could be a war. Might be a plus 200 or better. Getting on Oliveira. That's another thing. Oliveira, sometimes when they're big underdogs and there's close rounds, they just don't get as much as they should be getting. in terms of respect on the betting line, and that's a good opportunity for us. Oh, looks like they moved some fights around. So we're going DeJordan Santos and Danny Barlow. I think Danny Barlow is live to win any way he wants. Well, KO or decision. Santos never been knocked out, but who has he fought that was going to knock him out? I don't know. Not many. So I will say this: Barlow moving up in weight. Look good in his did not look good in his last fight. Got knocked out by Sam Patterson, and we'll see. I might look live on Barlow. I do want to see how he looks next to Jordan Dos Santos. I think the minus 300 is warranted, though. Yeah, he's not done look small. Yeah. This is Barlow all day. I think Barlow by KO is. We'll look Barlow first, second round. Barlow's tough there. Okay, put a pin in that. Barlow prop. We got to look Barlow prop here. Got to look Barlow prop. Let's get on to the next one. We'll tackle that at the end. We got Hung Sung Park and Bruno Silva. I like Silva as a live play, plus 200 better. We'll live bet based on the system, based on the numbers. So maybe it's Hung Sung Park. But I will say, worries me a little bit with Park. Hasn't won many by decision here. But he hasn't had to go to decision because the guys he's facing aren't as high level. Silva's going to be a lot better here. But we will see. I see Hung Sung Park as kill or be killed. But lots of variance on this assumption with a small data set. He is the bigger fighter. That's for sure. But Silva's a dog. I think it's a great live betting fight. Definitely bigger, though. What were those numbers? Yeah, about a 3-inch height difference. Flyweights. Cody Gibson, Arichi Lang. They really mixed up my stuff here. I'm going to have to do a whole rework. All right, Arichi Lang. Pride of Mongolia. Funny hat theory, guys. Funny hat theory. We may like Arichi Lang by KO after this one. Does have 2 KOs in his last 5. Cody Gibson's never been knocked out, though. He's been submitted. Never knocked out. 3 decision losses. I had this fight. I think Cody's, 67% chance. Showing value on the Cody side, but I don't know how much I put stock into that. That's the old news. That's the old way of doing things. I think we're gonna lean Cody live. Higher level competition, more ways to win. Oh, Cody didn't even flinch on that one. Nice little showdown there. Cody, it says Cody is, that's something to note, guys. It said Cody's 3 inches taller. He is not. He's shorter than Arichi Lang. Long. Gotta look Cody here, though, especially live. Finally, Drew Dober versus Prepelec coming on up. Dober stepping to the stage. Nice part of the hair. Looking like a classy gentleman. Shredded as always. The face, something else, man. But Drew Dober is a minus 420 currently. Originally came out as a minus 532. People are fading the chin, but I say fade it. Don't just bet Prepelec. If this goes to decision, maybe he wins, but I do think Dober can probably out-volume him. I mean, he's just a better fighter, but it's just, that's why I see this as Kyle Prepelec gets a KO or loses himself by KO, and then maybe he loses a decision. I don't see him winning. Yeah, I don't see him winning a decision himself. So I got the prop on that one, Kyle Prepolak plus 900 by KO. Other than that, might look at him live after one as well. I don't think we'll ever see anything on Drew Dober that's going to be worth a sniff at. All right, Matt, the Steamroller Frivola. I lean Frivola here, but it's the smallest of leans. I could see him also struggling. So my live betting notes, barn burner of a fight. Finish could happen at any moment, but it's also one of those fights that could easily go to decision. It's a weird one like that. Both guys have been to a lot of decisions. Both guys have been knocked out. I lean finish, but not at minus 210. We'll use the live betting system for this one on either side. Ends in round one is a plus 210. That's how I'd probably look at it. I think it's tough. A lot of their finishes come early or they're in wars and it's a late finish. So pick your boys on that. Kyle looks a little taller, but slightly. They're the same guy. They're going to throw bombs. I think we end in a finish, but I'll also look live. I love this one. I love this next fight. Dangerous Davy Grant. I have one bet and one bet only on this, only because of its value, and that is Davy Grant, Charles Jourdain. Fight finishes by submission plus 500. Right here in the far left. Either one of them can get a sub. That is where a majority of their finishes have come from. Now, I know it's different recently, but if we take a look, yeah, recently has been the watchword there. But Grant has lost twice by sub. Jourdain's lost once by sub. Jourdain used to snatch up a ton. In his last 5, only 2. Jourdain with a lot of knockouts recently, but also a lot of subs before his last 5. So I just think with both having that sub potential, it's a good little sprinkle at plus 500. We did put a unit on it too. And I will live bet the heck out of this one. Absolutely a perfect fight for live betting. It'll be close, strikes back and forth, and we should see some nice betting lines for either side. Those are the ones we're looking for. All right, Jazz Davicius, Manon Farrow. I am interested to see how much bigger Farrow is, or if she's not bigger at all. I expect her to be more muscular, but Jasmine's tall. She's in Canada. I don't know. My numbers say Farrow all day. They say Farrow all day. 68% she wins. And it's a lot of it's strength of schedule. I mean, a lot of it is Farrow has faced very, very high level competition in Jasmine. 1481 on the Glico opponent score. She's beaten them. She's beaten them good. 100% in her last 5, 3 subs, 2 decision wins, but going up against Manon Farrow, the decision machine, 5 wins, her last 5 wins have come by decision. Both losses come by decision. Same thing with Jasmine. We most likely go the distance. I don't even know if we'll get a live spot on it. Let's see the notes, though. Yeah, they're about the same size. Farrow does look a little bigger, physically bigger. Oh, I could put Farrow in a parlay, though. I think she's going to be the better fighter here. Yeah, and pretty much what I went over. All right, let's check out this one here. I love this one for live betting as well because it will go most likely to decision. But I will say I lean a prop. I lean on putting something on Vera by finish. Why is that? If I like Vera, I don't know if I like him by decision, but I like that he could get a finish. I think Marlon has faced the best competition. A 2,000 on the Glico, 1,753 on the average Glico for Zahabi. So it's just a much, much higher level, 300 points. They're very similar in their skill level at this point. So it's just a matter of, is Cheeto a stepping stone here for Zahabi? I don't think so. It's going to be a crazy one. And I just lean that Cheeto could somehow get a knockout or a sub. I think sub is sneaky here as well. But if he loses, it'll be by decision. So we'll look live. Let's check out Mike Malott here coming up. Mike Malott and Kevin Holland. I lean heavy Kevin Holland. But it's one of those that, I think the competition level, look at this. It's just crazy, the difference. It's almost 360 points. And this is where I think you can usually find the most value. Although, if it's a brand new fighter who's a favorite, and not like Mike Malott, but a brand new fighter, yes. But remember, Mike Malott recently got finished by Neil Magny. He's kind of the guy who tests those guys. Kevin Holland's not very reliable, but I will say, if we take a look at Mike Malott's only 2 losses, they are by knockout. I do think that Kevin Holland could get a sub as well, but I lean Kevin Holland by finish. Of his last 5 wins, 4 have come by finish. We had 3 submissions, 1 knockout, and Malott has mixed him up, but he's not going to sub Kevin Holland. I don't think so. Kevin Holland doesn't look much taller. I thought he'd be taller. He's a little bit taller, but that reach is going to be a lot bigger. Look at that. A massive 8-inch reach advantage for Holland. You can see it right there. It's going to be tough. I think it's Kevin Holland all day. It's just tough to take Holland. Inside the distance is where I'd lean. And I do lean going live with this one as well, because this one could get going and we could see some big swings where Kevin Holland's not out of the fight and maybe get a plus 200 on it. So I would look either way. I would look, that's a tough one though, because Kevin Holland, I'll look for a plus 200 either way, unless it's like domination on one side. But that's how I'll kind of lean that way, where I think someone could do something very minuscule in the beginning, the line swings, and then we get a plus 200 we can scoop up. Brendan Allen and Rainier de Ridder RDR. This one should be fun. At first, I said there's no way Allen wins this, and now I've gone back and forth. I've really gone back and forth. RDR is going to be a little bit bigger, but not much. Not as much as he was against Whitaker. And so that's going to be interesting, right? He was able to kind of keep Whitaker at distance. Can he do that against Brendan Allen? Brendan Allen's a good striker. Now, on the ground, I don't think that Allen is going to be able to overcome de Ridder's jiu-jitsu game, and I think it'd be a mistake if he tried to do that. I probably do lean de Ridder by sub to finish it. Allen's never been finished by sub. He has been knocked out. That's the tricky part. But I don't know. I want to see what that sub, what some of those props are. We're going to have a little bit of time while they talk about these fighters. So I do want to look at some of these sub props. Yeah, I think Allen is going to be tougher than people think. And my numbers show it should be closer to 50-50, although de Ridder for sure should still be the favorite. Okay. Let's see what de Ridder's prop is. De Ridder by sub plus 185. That's a no. by KO, TKO plus 365. I could see this going to decision as well, though. Although it would worry, I don't know. DeRitter may be able to just break him down. It's going to be an interesting one. I think it's one that we will also look live. We will look live because I think that's how DeRitter gets it done. I think he gets a sub, but I think he could get a KO. I think he could break down Allen with those knees, just like Chris Curtis did earlier in Allen's career. Hasn't been finished recently like that, but that is a possibility as well. I got it here. Live betting system could see him getting a finish as well. Upside for him there. So also upside betting him live. Higher finishing potential, I would say. Yep. So live betting Brendan Allen all the way. Could easily go to decision as both guys are hard to finish. I'm rooting for that because I'll get a better number on one side or the other. If you give me enough time, I'll get the better line because they move back and forth so much. We got Brendan Allen coming up on the stage. Yeah, and this is what's interesting. Both guys finish by sub, but don't get finished by sub. And both guys have been finished with KOs, TKOs. And so which way do you go? Honestly, DeRitter has shown that he can also knock people out or break them down a little bit. But yeah, so I think it could go either way. That's what I'm saying. DeRitter's not that much bigger. These guys are both they're gonna scrap. They're gonna scrap. But I think DeRitter gets it done in the end. No value though. 46% Allen, 54% DeRitter. So that's close. Plus 185 as value. Favored to not go the distance with it being 5 rounds. I think it could go the distance as well, though, too. But I lean DeRitter, and I'll lean him live, too. All right. So that's it. They all weighed in. So I'm going to just recap the bets here. And I said we wanted to put a pin in that Danny Barlow fight. So let's go to that first, actually, and see what we're looking at here. So we saw Barlow and we saw Santos. I thought Santos was going to be bigger than him. I didn't see it at all. I think this is a very dangerous fight for Santos. If you look at who Danny Barlow was, yeah, but that's another factor, though. Santos has never been finished, and how does Barlow's power translate? I think there's no way he loses the fight. I think it is a strong possibility he gets the knockout. I think he's going to get the knockout in the first round. I really think he's going to get the knockout in the first round. And you know what? Let's go to the odds board here and see what we can find when it comes to props on Danny Barlow in the first round. And they don't really show all the props. Let's see here. My number one, I have one prop place I go to. That is Bovada. Bovada lists them out. They list them out early. They're fantastic with it. Okay, so you guys can look this up yourselves if you're wondering, but let's just take a look here. Barlow by KO, TKO, plus 130. It's an option. It's definitely an option. It's a little tough when the fight will the fight go the distance? No, minus 190. To be honest, if it doesn't go the distance, barring something weird happening, Barlow KO is the only way I see that going. I don't see Santos knocking out Barlow. I don't see him getting a submission, although it would be interesting to see if he has that game there. Let's see. Has he gotten any submissions? No, he's never gotten a submission win. So we can pretty much cancel that. So the only way it happens is Barlow by KO. If we take a look at Barlow's, let's see, Barlow. I think if we look at Barlow, a lot of his KOs have come in the first round. Definitely have to prepare this part of the stream better. But it's a work in progress, and I do want to go over these bets. We'll obviously go over them in the live stream as well, but I want to have some of this figured out before we start, especially if you grab it early. I think that Davy Grant was the prop, the sub, either way. Either fighter can get the sub. Okay, let's see here. I think I'm going to have to change my fight order too. There it is. Let's look at Danny Barlow's last 5. So he got KO'd by Sam Patterson in the first. I had Sam Patterson plus 230 in that fight. Sam Patterson is legit. You can look at this with me here. Nikolay Veretennikov, split decision. That one was a little sketchy. That's when we should have known something wasn't quite that level. Then he gets the KO against Josh Quinlan. That's in the 3rd round. Before that, Raheem Forrest, Jarius Jill, Trevor Allison, all first round, but that's lower level. I just saw Raheem Forrest get KO'd by someone else in a different promotion. Josh Quinlan's not really fighting anymore. Nikolay Veretennikov. So, it's got to then just be Barlow straight up, just winning. Yeah, I think that's the way we're going on this. Barlow, most of his wins by knockout, but there is one in there, decision. So take that for what it is. The Quillen one went pretty far into the fight. Does have that crazy power. It wouldn't surprise me if he got the KO. I will only look. I think I'm going to have a parlay. No, we're not going to have a parlay. It could hit, but Barlow and Azamat. The more I look at this Azamat fight, I think he gets the win, but I almost think that what's the prop for total? Yeah, it's still a minus 225. I think it gets finished. There's a possibility. Azamat's never been knocked out either. Subbed in decision. He's a beast. Who has this guy fought? No one. You say Belgari. I don't know. That's the way I lean. I lean Azamat and Barlow parlay. I don't see how the other side beats them, really. And both are close to a minus 300. It's like a minus 124. So, and with them, I don't think we're going to see a live betting spot. We might, but that could be because it's their downfall. And I don't see it where maybe it could be a tough fight with Belgari in the first. I think he gets it in the second. I think Azamat's either the first or the second here, getting a finish. But it could go decision as well. Belgari's been tough. We'll see his training. There is some unknowns with him, but I think a lot of his confidence could also be coming from the fact that, well, Pereira did it. I've beaten Pereira. I see a path here for Azamat, though, if he wants to wrestle. He could also stand with him on the feet. So we have the sub in the second. I could see him getting the KO or the sub, but I lean sub with him. it's basically a 50-50. So Azamat KO in the second plus 900. That's the one we have for right now, right here. And we are going to stick with that. But I would say I will have a parlay, even if we don't put it on here right now. I'm going to have a parlay with Azamat and Danny Barlow. And if it doesn't win, it doesn't win. But I just don't see their path to losing. Of course, anything can happen. Like Drew Dober being a minus 532, I could see him losing for sure. I bet on it. On the other side at a plus 900. But sprinkle, these are all, 0.33 units, except for this one, which I really, really like, and that is Davy Grant and Charles Jourdain. Fight ends by sub. I think it has all the makings. Neither guy has gotten their sub in a while, but both have close to 50% of their wins by submission. So I think it's partially recency bias, where they haven't gotten them recently, but have gotten a lot in the past, and they have also been finished by the submission. They've also lost decision, so it could easily go to decision, but that's not what I was betting. I was betting that plus 500 that this thing ends in a submission. It is a minus 160 to go the distance. So it's either ends by KO or submission. KO prop wasn't that good. Sub was plus 500. And so it's just a value play, but I think it has a high possibility of actually cashing. I lean Davy Grant, and I just love this live betting spot because it could easily go to decision. And I think that's where we'll really have a spot on potentially Davy Grant, who I have live bet in the past, where slow start and he just takes over. He's a great finisher, but also a great when he goes to decision as well. Have cashed on him many times. So I'm hoping to get a plus 200 on Grant and go with him live. And there you go. So other than I would say Azamat, Bakoyev, and maybe Danny Barlow parlay. I will have some honorable mentions on the parlay here as well. I'm not going to put Stephanie Lucindo in that honorable mention anymore. It's a really tight list. I would say it's that between that and Menet Farrow and Jasmine Justa Devicius. And I should actually put them in this order here. Manon Farrow is a tough customer. I think at a minus 225. I think it's even lower than that. I do think the public loves Jasmine. She's in Canada. It's just a very, very big step up in competition. There's a big discrepancy that's hard to ignore. Only when this fighter, who has the higher competition, is getting beat by super high level fighters, which is where you'll see this, like with Neil Magny and stuff, has fought higher level competition that he is currently rated. So it's usually people on the downswing. She is still high, but has an extremely high strength of schedule compared to Jasmine. Just a Devicius. We'll go with JJ for the nickname. JJ has a very high fight matrix blend, but just not the same level of competition. I'm going to say I'm going to look live-wise with this one. I'm going to look middle to the end of the first. And if she's showing the ability to get takedowns and keep Farrow down, maybe she hasn't figured that out. And she struggled against Valentina, but just different levels there, different levels of competition. I mean, I don't think Jasmine is going to be able to do this to her. I will look live on Jasmine if she's getting the takedowns. I think Farrow, I think she's a good parlay piece because will we get a good number live? Let's say Farrow starts out cooking. Jasmine can't get takedowns. She's beating her up. It's gone. She's a minus 500 and it's off to the races. And you'll see that with a lot of these women's fights. They go and they never come back. You will never see that line back down. So I actually think Farrow and Barlow. Farrow, Barlow, and Azamat are my 3 parlay pieces for the week. Maybe we sprinkle a unit on the 3 of them at plus money, just to have it, because in all 3 of those fights as well, I could see it going bell to bell. The favorite has it, and we will not find a better line. We will not get a good live betting spot. That won't be the case probably for all 3, but I do think that in most cases, and if that happens, maybe we get a better spot to bet our guy. That is a way of live betting too. Just because the favorite has now gone to even money, we may bet on the original favorite depending on the numbers. If it's only a close win by the underdog, it's usually an overreaction, and we'll have a spot. So there you go, guys. That's the bets that we have pre-fight. I will just add this as a maybe pre-fight bet, and we'll say we are going to go. I wonder what that parlay would pay out. I'm going to check that out right now, actually. See what our parlay will pay out. So it's Azamat. Let's see what our parlay pays. Yeah, money coming in on the other side on Barlow, too. He's down to a minus 280. So I do think some people are looking at it and going, price is a little steep. But let's see how steep it is. See what that 3-team parlay would be with Danny Barlow, Azamat. There it is. Okay, so we got Barlow and Azamat. Yeah, look at that. Money coming in on Santos after that weigh-in is surprising, to say the least. I don't know if I like Farrow at a minus 230, but here she is. Let's see what it looks like, 3-teamer. So that's a minus 290 on Azamat, minus 280 on Barlow, minus 230 on Farrow, which I don't like that as much. A 1 unit would pay plus 161. It's not terrible. Okay, minus 220 over here. Might have a better parlay set. Oh, yeah, Barlow's down. Ooh, Barlow's getting steamed on Bet Online. So hold off on this parlay, guys. Weird things are brewing all over the place, although I might have to snag up that Barlow at a minus 255, because that just makes no sense to me. I didn't see anything in that face-off that said Barlow looked small or didn't look ready for it. He looked good to me. Azamat, minus 280 on Bet Online as well, so maybe we go that direction. Yeah, that is the direction. So 3-teamer, though, would be Azamat. Yeah, and you can get a better line on Bet Online. So look at it. I don't know why Barlow's getting faded right now, but he is. So yeah, we're going to hold off for now. Stay tuned tomorrow. Live stream. We'll have 2 live streams tomorrow, guys. We're going to sign out pretty soon here. But we'll have 2 live streams tomorrow. One is going to be PFL Africa. That starts at 12 Eastern time, so at noon. That goes through 4. If there's overlap, we're jumping over to UFC at 4, and we will take it through the afternoon, the evening, and the night, where we will have our final fight. DeRitter versus Brendan Allen, probably around 9:30, 10. Perfect time to end the UFC for the night. That'll be 10 hours of streaming, lots of live betting, lots of chatting, lots of music. Join us tomorrow. It's going to be great. All right, guys. See you. Who's commenting on my stream? Oh, it's Viking Space Pirate. There he is. Back in action. Always there. We're going to call him Mr. Reliable. Oh, look, my head's showing here. I'll have to check out the different spots where my placement is there. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I'll do this a few times if I can get kind of a system down for it and people are watching find the information useful. It'll be up as well, so you can rewatch the live stream. Yeah, it'll be up that you can check it out later and see which bets you want, which you don't. God, I wonder why Barlow's getting steamed. We got to check that out. But these bets are good. Every prop I looked at, I went through for a little bit of time. These three are my solid ones. I'm hoping at least two of them cash, and we will come out very nice if just two of them cash. So that's the old ball game, fellas. We're going to play my new song because I like it. Just listen. You'll love it. And I can't wait, guys, to see you tomorrow for UFC and PFL streaming marathon starting at noon. See you later.
From the bayous of Louisiana to the bluffs of Tennessee, a shadow on the water, wild as the wind can be. He learned the game from river rats, with cards worn thin and frayed, chasing value in the shadows where the betting lines don't stay. Floating down the street, we always do it live, seeing spots and placing wagers that others cannot find. When green is on the cash board, the chat begins to sing. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed Jack is king. The books come a-calling with movement on the odds. We take the dive and do it live and pray to the gambling gods. Those Mississippi River nights where the stream is running fast, the one-eyed Jack has visions, spots that always cash. Floating down the river, we always do it live, seeing spots and placing wagers that others cannot find. When green is on the cash board, the chat begins to sing. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed Jack is king. Now the years have carved his face like driftwood on the shore. He knows when to walk away, when to settle up the score. Under midnight's quiet stream, where the stars as witness true, the gambler's heart beats steady. It's the stream that's calling you. Floating down the river, we always do it live, seeing spots and placing wagers that others cannot find. When green is on the cash board, the chat begins to sing. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed Jack is king.